The main conventions of a short film consist of a small cast, limited locations, not much dialogue, a different narrative structure from a feature-length film, as you have to take into account that it is only a 5-minute film. There isn't much time to establish the setting and characters, and also would be a low-budget film compared to a feature-length film. Our short film uses the idea of not much speech, only in the sweet shop. We wanted our film to be completely visual and for viewers to understand the film and not be told anything by a narrative. Also, due to the fact that the film is only 5 minutes long, speech takes a long time to record and needs to be developed with the story. Along with our characters, we're not trained in speaking on camera and haven't had any experience. Also, our narrative structure follows the idea as the audience is thrown straight into the film. We choose the structure not to introduce the characters, as we just want the plot to develop in a unique way, following a £5 note. In many ways, our short film develops and challenges the forms and conventions of a real media project. Firstly, our story was based on an object, like the £5 note, rather than a certain main character. This is experimental and is focused on the journey, an element which is unique in short films, as they are meant to stretch the boundaries of imagination, meaning that we had used a wide range of actors and locations as we were creating a journey from one person to the next. This worked successfully and wouldn't have worked any other way. Also, the way we have edited some scenes challenges the more traditional editing of Hollywood cinema by including jump cuts. In particular, scene 2, where the characters on screen are walking. We use jump cuts to contrast from one location to the next, giving the impression that he is walking for a long period of time, creating tension. The genre of our short film is drama. The conventions of this is to make everything dramatic within the plot. The presentation of all the characters and lighting also allow tension to build up and develop within the storyline, allowing us to create suspense throughout the film and reflect the way the audience would feel as they follow the story. We use strong sound scores on different scenes to heighten the action that is taking place. This can be seen when the boy is taking drugs. The music changes into a disheartening low-pitched tone, which slowly changes into an instrument section, just as he is reaching for the £5 note to snort drugs. As we have done this, the audience feels it is a waste of a youth's life and even sympathises with the character, because the music is such a powerful aspect of what our audience feels. As for our radio trailer, we have mainly used the conventions of radio, which include having a man's voice speaking in a deep voice, which emphasise certain phrases, for example a title of a film, a mixture of dramatic sounds from the film, which are able to grab the audience's attention. Past films that the production has worked on, like The Dark Hills. We think by using this, we address the function of a radio trailer by making our film sound appealing towards the audience, making them want to watch it, but also giving them small indications of what the short film is about. One way in which we have developed radio conventions is that we have mixed up the order in which taglines, sound effects, quotes, reviews from newspapers have been placed. Our tagline itself is different because we state a quote about how many notes are used every day and then address the reader with personal questioning to catch the listener's attention and make them think. The background music to our film both follows and challenges the conventions of a radio advert, as we've used a mixture of music. The introduction to our radio trailer is solo dramatic music before it blends into more subtle sound, but overlapping with this there are background sounds. By including a rainstorm and sounds of people walking, which are sounds that weren't actually in our film, but this indicates that the listener, our film should be mysterious and have a sense of travel. This is what we wanted to create, as it makes the film sound appealing. The purpose of a magazine review is to inform the audience of the decision to watch a film, meaning there can be bad reviews as well as good reviews. The function of the plot is so the reader can get a full but generalised idea of the film and determine whether they want to see it. In our review, we talked to the film by starring actor Alex Almody and his past work, which we then related to our film Dirty Money. Along with this, information about Switch Productions and their past projects we've been involved in. This is effective as we wanted the reader to be aware of our group's history. Our review would fit into a magazine, as we have used a selection of colours, blue, brown and white, in order to give a sophisticated style which would appeal for people to read. However, we have slightly developed the idea of photos to include, as we have chosen to include 2. We have done this as we have a different storyline and in the review we should demonstrate the difference from a boy taking drugs to a young boy buying sweets. This is what pictures are meant to achieve in a magazine review, giving the reader a clear idea what is in the film to familiarise themselves with the characters. As Switch Productions rate the magazine review, this challenges the conventions of the review, as they are not normally produced by filmmakers. However, we still use the traditional elements of a review, as its layout itself to give the audience an idea of what the film is about. For example, the headline catches people's eye and is placed at the right top of the page for them to be read and instantly attracted to, with the plot, verdict and pictures all positioned underneath it. This is effective as a review looks advertising, which is the main point of a well-constructed magazine review, as people would want to come and see our film.